Are the aliens real or not?
Tell me, bro.
I don't know.
We're gonna find out though.
You know the first time we ever hung out? This is after we did the podcast.
Yeah, tell them.
We went out to dinner.
I don't think anybody knows about this.
They might not. You tell me, hey, what are you doing for dinner tonight after I do the pod? And I'm like, well, shit, I don't have any plans on my LA. He goes, well, come to dinner with me at the, what is it, the all-you-can-eat Brazilian restaurant? What's it called?
Fogo de Chao.
Fogo de Chao. He goes, come to Fogo de Chao. And when you type it, I don't even know what food we're eating. I got to Google it, right? It's like, okay, it's a Brazilian restaurant. So we go, and you're like, we're going to come with Bob. I go, okay, cool. And we go with Bob Lazar. This is the guy who was working on the UFOs.
Yeah, and I explained to you who he was because I wanted you to get a read on him.
Yeah.
Because I wanted you to decide whether or not you thought he was bullshit. This is a guy that was allegedly, according to him, he back-engineered alien spacecrafts at Area S4. Mm-hmm. It was a guy who worked for Lockheed Martin, and he claims that he worked on these UFOs. And we all went out to dinner.
Fogo de Chao.
And we're sitting there, and Andrew and I are cutting meat and eating and just talking.
I got my green light on. They keep coming around.
This guy.
Joe's like, put the fucking red light on. You had enough steak, whatever the fuck. I don't know the rules of Fogo de Chao yet.
You get a green card. It's the best fucking place ever if you love meat. You have a green card on one side, and it's red on the other side. And so when you want to keep that food rolling, you keep that green up. Yeah. But Andrew's, it's like fucking sausages are coming. He's taking chicken legs. Yeah. And I go, you got to flip it over if you got to tap out. They'll give you a break. Yeah. So you flip it over. It's a good system. So we're all sitting there eating, and Bob Lazar is detailing to us shit that he couldn't even talk about on the podcast.
Wild.
And explaining like what they were trying to
begrudgingly, by the way.
Begrudgingly.
And that's what kind of convinced me. He was like, I don't care to argue about this or debate about this. Like, if you don't believe me, it's fine. I don't need to be here. Like, I don't even care.
Yeah.
Remember he kept saying that?
Yeah.
And then he was like, this is what I experienced.
You gotta care a little bit. You dedicate your whole life to this.
No, he didn't dedicate his life. Like, he was an engineer.
He was only there for a short period of time. And here's where it gets wild. Want to hear the whole story?
Yeah.
He had top secret clearance because he has to work on these crafts, allegedly, according to him. But because of that, they had to tap into his phones. They had to monitor all of his discussions. Like, if he's selling information to the Russians, they got to. Okay. So during that time period, his wife is having an affair. Oh, wow. And they kill his top secret clearance and suspend him during this time period, and with no explanation, because they think he'll be emotionally unstable, and you can't have a guy like that working on fucking UFOs. Yeah. So they don't tell him, though. They don't tell him his wife is cheating on him. So he's trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, and he brings friends out into the mountains to view the launches of these UFOs, because they're on a very specific schedule, and he knows the schedule. So he takes these people out deep into the Nevada desert, which is now the area that he took people to. You can't even go there anymore. It's now off limits. But at the time, you can go there, and he was watching with his friends. They were filming these fucking things flying around in like these preposterous ways that no airplane could fly.
Did you see any of the videos?
I've seen it, but you don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Like, you're looking at lights. Like, it could be anything.
That was the Elon thing. I think Elon said some shit like, why don't they have better camera footage of aliens?
Yeah.
Like
But they do. He's not totally correct. The FLIR footage that they have from the Commander David Fravor had one of the most impactful UFO video encounters that's ever happened. It was off the coast of San Diego, and they found this thing that moved from 50,000 feet above sea level to 50 in less than a second. They don't know what it is. They have no idea what it was. But it was actively monitoring them because it blocked all of their tracking devices, which is technically an act of war, and then just fucking just took off, gone, and went back to their cat point, which is the place where they had like a designated spot where they're supposed to meet up during this mission. Because what they're doing with this mission is a training mission, and they had a dedicated. And that fucking UFO went to that spot. It's like, I know where you're going, bitch. Whoa. And then took off again and gone. Wow. And then when they relayed this to the Nimitz, he was explaining how the people that were working there were like, we see these things like every couple of weeks. We have no idea what the fuck it is. We don't know what.
So you're 100% convinced UFOs?
I'm not, because it could be a drone that they don't tell those people about. It could be something that the government's working on. It could be
a different government or something.
Most likely us. See, the thing about communism is like like the way they do it over there is like /communism /capitalism. Maybe that works, but a lot of what they do is they steal a lot of intellectual property from the United States. It's one of the problems. There's not a problem with United States stealing intellectual property from China. As far as I know, it doesn't make the news, but they banned Huawei. The reason why they banned Huawei
the
is
cell
'cause
phone company, right?
the company that they make modems as well. They make many things, but they found like enough of an indication that they were suspicious. There's some back doors in order to get data. So if you're using like Huawei devices and you have some like super secure network that's developing nuclear weapons or whatever the fuck you're doing, they would get all that data. And there's like, hey,
Chill the fuck out.
hey. You know, we're in this weird time where we're only like a decade or so away from nothing being a secret ever.
What do you mean?
There will be no more secrets. You'll be able to read minds. You're coming to a place where language is probably going to be universal, and you're going to be able to communicate with people that are nowhere near you using the power of your thought.
This is the Neuralink.
This is many of these technologies they're developing. If you had to think about where it's going to go, that's where it's going to go.
That's one guy I talked to. He said that's the end point of AI. That's where it's all headed. We're all in one consciousness.
Well, it might be. You gave me a broken glass, you cocksuckers. I almost cut myself. I would have died.
Wow.
If you, please,
The Russians.
please.
It was too much.
It's no big deal.
You drink out of this end.
I drink out of that end.
There you
I
go.
drink out of right this part. What were we just talking about?
The Russians.
Group consciousness.
No,
Collective
group consciousness.
Consciousness and singularity.
What they're looking for. Don't worry about all that. Don't worry about all that, bro.
Yo, half of it missed
What's the problem, bro?
It's just water.
Andrew's fingers and
The ashtray, you know?
I want to state for the record that most of this podcast is nonsense.
Yeah.
I would say 100%.
Yeah, it's 100%.
We like to be safe and just go 100%.
100%
it's all
nonsense.
comedy.
Yeah.
If asked, I stand by none of my claims.
No, this is all scripted. This is a scripted podcast, and this is for your...
This is a parody
Exactly. Okay, but with the
of 5 dudes drunk.
UFO shit, right?
4. They're out there.
They're out there, bro.
out
Say it.
there.
You believe it.
No, the thing is, I don't believe it because I don't know for sure. But if I had a guess, I would have to say most likely they're out there because there's not enough options. Like if you had to think that this is the most unique circumstance ever in the history of the universe, the problem with that is the universe is too big.
Yeah.
So it's so big that everything that's ever existed, including everything that's ever happened on Earth in the exact same order, has happened an infinite number of times. Like you have to understand what infinity means. It's too big for anybody to understand. So are there aliens? Of course. There's not just aliens out there. You're out there. You're not just out there once. You're out there an impossible number of times, and you're doing life all kinds of different ways.
Yeah.
The number of people that live exactly the same as you have, with every pause, every mistake, every success, all of it is exactly the same. It's infinite. That's how big the universe is.
Then there's also one that's the opposite.
Yeah,
It's everything.
failures, disgrace, everything, falling apart, murder, suicide, all of it. Probably every single iteration of human beings.
Vegan you out there, Joe. And that motherfucker still
That's
would
where
live in
you
Austin.
cross the line.
Yeah, I just wonder, man.
If you watched a moose stomp a person to death, you think you could eat that moose?
Joe, I'll suck the moose's dick and I'm good, bro. I don't know what you don't understand about me. That I'm apex predator, this mouth.
Well,
This mouth is
that's-
a predator, dog.
Take some mushrooms out, guys.
you need something like a massage or something. Something therapeutic, like a yoga class. I don't know what to tell you, bro.
It's this married life, Joe. It's this married life.
Guys, that clip was brought to you by Blue Chew. Best boners in the business. Same active ingredients as Cialis or Viagra, but this is the Chew, the only one we rock with. Get yours for free at BlueChew.com. Promo code Andrew. All you gotta do is pay $5 shipping.